Medieval, Jan Žižka. Review of the family game accompanying the movie. The 2022 star-studded Czech film Jan Žižka, or Medieval for international distribution, received mixed review from both audience and critics. And while it didn't live up to its ambitions as a globally successful big-budget film, it was given a complementary features of true Western big-budget film. Well, we have to wait yet for the video game Žižka, but the board game from Albi was released just in time for Christmas in 2023. And I'm not gonna lie, I went into the board game Jan Žižka Medieval by Petr, Vojtěch and Jindřich Pavlásek, thinking that it would be probably some quick-fire crap that they want to ride on the popularity of the brand, as this sometimes happens with those games. But to my great and pleasant surprise, it's a really good game. I would describe its feelings like it's kind of light talisman with, Žižka inside. Each of 1 to 4 players, the game has a solo mode, controls one of movie's heroes who start with a bunch of companions, and your goal is simple to accumulate 30 victory points. These are earned by walking around the map and completing tasks, of which there are several types, and depending on their type, you have to roll the necessary symbols on the dice. Yes, symbols, not numbers. The game is fully pictogram and tools is suitable for children. So if you go to a town where there is a talking bubble symbol, you know you will have, rolled talking on the dice. If there is a sword, there will be fighting. If there is money, you will have to buy or bribe somebody. This allows you to decide in advance where to go on the map, perhaps taking into account the abilities of your character or the squad you recruit during the game, because each character can have its own special ability, or you can play a more balanced variant with identical abilities. For example, if you have a combat bonuses, there is no point going to monastery for chat and vice versa. So you know that there will be events which the game will revolve around, but you don't know how difficult they will be. But there's no need to despair. Just roll a portion of the events for partial reward. And if you don't roll anything after all, the game gives you still some sort of universal luck token for your efforts, which you can later redeem for any successes. This is the game's way of making sure that every player is constantly moving somewhere and not getting left behind just because, they are unlucky with the dice rolls. In addition to the mind quests, which are constantly changing on the map, there are a few other activities in the game. You can try sieging castles, taking part in knights tournaments, or gaining the favor of the king for a chance to use this special king's dice. Wenceslav can, speak better, and Zygmunt can, pour golds for your change. In addition, for some events you can get a warrant for your character's arrest for your actions, where other players will start chasing you with the prospect of reward, which is the only time in the game where the players can go at each other's throat. As far as the graphic design of Jan Žižka Medieval is concerned, some of the pieces are probably meant to simulate medieval illuminations, but it's about halfway between illumination and, child's painting. Likewise, the companion cards look like photo blown to, some horrible filter on your phone. But the figures for the main 4 heroes are actually really nice. They have nice art detail, they look like they're from a good Western board game, and, which is important, they look like the actors from the movie, which, can't be said about the cards at all. In a nutshell, the basic mechanics of the games are really simple. Players run around the map, completing tasks by rolling dice to collect money and victory points. Whoever does best wins over. It's simply without being complicated, but it is really true that in simplicity is power. It's just simple fun that doesn't surprise you after your first time playing it, and, you don't have to flip through the rules just after reading them one time. Plus, one game takes about 30 minutes in 2 players, and each additional player then adds, something like quarter of hour. So at full strength, you have about hour to game with 4 players, which is sort of great. And thanks to the pictograms and the relative accessibility of the rules, it's a great game for, hang out with friends or going out with friends who aren't, hardcore board gamers. And on top of that, it's also suitable for kids. The box says it's for 12 up, but I think you can play Žižka with kids a few years younger than that. So, getting to the verdict, Jan Žižka Medieval is unexpectedly fun game that, while tied to the movie license, works on its own as uncomplicated, entertaining board game in which you take on journey as medieval hero who must carve out his name for himself on the map. It's fast-paced game suitable for beginners and younger players as well as advanced players, with a simple principles and dice rattling properly relaxing.